Hey there, today is day 61 of my 100-day challenge, and it is also day 4 of Unleash the Power Within. So today is the last day, and like I've talked about before, it has been a crazy, emotional, awesome journey full of a lot of information, a lot of insight, a lot of ups and downs. And one thing that I have been thinking about lately that I want to share with you is the idea of knowledge without action is useless. So there are so many different things that have been said during Tony Robbins where I'm like, oh, I know that, or oh, I've heard that before, but I haven't acted on them. And so therefore, those things, they aren't relevant. I don't actually know those things. So same to you, if there are things like secrets of success, like if you get a good night's sleep, then you will have more energy, right? Those are things that we all know, but if you're not acting on them, then you don't inherently know them. So knowledge without action is useless. The whole point is to take action and to make change on those things that are important to you. So the big thing here is understanding what is important, because if something is important enough, then you will take that knowledge and you will apply action so that you will have a change. So the first thing is, what are the things or the areas in your life that aren't where you want them to be? What are the areas in your life where you're unhappy? And then from there, how can you change those things? How can you learn different things about those? So for me, like I've talked about, I teach fitness, but that hasn't always been a passion in my life. I used to have to struggle to work out, and I would work out for a day or two, and then I would be really inconsistent, and I wouldn't work out for a week, and it would be exhausting. I'd always have to give myself a pep talk like, all right, you got this, you got this. And then finally, I decided that it was important to me to work out because it gave me energy and it made me feel good. And so the thought and the idea of feeling good attached to the workout became so important to me. So that knowledge of feeling good finally was important for me to act on. So this idea of knowledge without action is meaningless. And I think a lot of times I don't want to say we all, but a lot of us have this little problem that gets in our way, and that little problem can be a huge problem if we don't check ourselves, and that is our ego. So we have this ego that wants to be right and wants to look good. And so we'll get this information and we'll say, oh, I know that. And then we immediately shut off our brains to that information. We're like, oh, I know that. I've heard that before. I've tried that. But you are missing the point, because knowledge without action means nothing. Knowledge without consistent action means nothing. So if you are hearing something over and over and over again and you're not applying it, you're not doing anything about it, then you actually don't know that thing. You might know it intellectually, but that doesn't mean anything unless you are taking action on that thing, getting closer toward what it is you want. So again, this can be applied to any different aspect in your life, whether you want more energy, whether you want more money, whether you want a better relationship. There is information out there. There is knowledge and wisdom out there that you can find and that you probably know. But taking the time to uncover some of those secrets that you maybe have heard before and looking at them head on, and then taking them in, evaluating, am I really doing this? Yes, I've heard this before. Yes, I know this intellectually, but am I really acting on this? Am I living this life? And if not, why? Because if doing that thing is going to get you closer to where you want to be, then why wouldn't you do that thing? And maybe it's just being honest with yourself. Maybe you just don't want that thing bad enough. So what can you do to change it? What's going to make it more important to you? If you want something enough, you will take action. But you have to humble yourself to say, okay, yes, I've heard that before, but am I really living it? And I can tell you from my own experience, there are so many things that I have heard before that I think I know, but I don't truly know. And don't get in your own way. Don't cut yourself off to all of the great information out there by telling yourself you already know it, because that is a lie and you're just holding yourself back. That is an excuse. Be open, be humble, receive that information and think about how you can apply it to your life to make your life better. Thank you so much for showing up with me today. Remember to keep showing up for yourself, because if you do, there is nowhere to go but up. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.